gals, what's up? Off the water today, in the garage, at the workbench, and I was kind of thinking about all the things and tools that we have available as anglers today to help us succeed, right? So we have some unbelievable rod and reel technology, probably the best that I've ever seen. You get on the boat, we have power poles, and we have, the best outboards, and we have ridiculous amount of electronics available to us. And one of the other things that's been available for a while, but is, I think probably the most useful tool and the one that I can't live without is that bad boy right there. The Ipilot trolling motor. This is a Minn Kota Ipilot 36 volt, 112 pound thrust motor. But what does it, guys, and you guys know this that have one, it's the things that this can do, right, for you and for your fishing that really make it invaluable. So what I'm gonna do today, shortly, is I'm gonna talk about like three or four things that I do to this and tips for you to get the most out of your Ipilot motor. All right, stick around. All right, guys and gals, talking about the Minn Kota Ipilot. Okay, and I'm going to talk about some features and some of the things that I do and where I keep the remote. Okay, and maybe it's something that'll work for you guys too. But first things first, if you do any fishing at night or pre-dawn or anything, mount your Ipilot on your boat, get it home, and put some tape over the power light. That thing shoots up like a laser and hits you right in the face if you're fishing at night, and it's very distracting and it messes with your night vision. I would suggest to Minn Kota, the next generation, maybe put an option in here to shut the power light off. Shouldn't be too hard, but in the meantime, put a piece of tape. I'll show you how I do it. I just put a piece of painter's tape, masking tape over it, double it over, then put it over there. It comes on and off, it doesn't leave any tape marks, and that takes care of it. First things first, that's done. Secondly, where you put your remote and where you wear your remote is completely up to you. Minn Kota sends you a nice lanyard, goes around the neck, right? And it kind of hangs like this. I cannot stand that. It bothers me. It bothers me when I cast. It bothers me when I move. It's constantly in the way. So what I do is I put a little clip on mine, okay? I actually threw on my power pole remote right there on a zip tie. And then I put this thing right here, right on my side. And that's where it sits, just like that. So I can reach it like this if I need to. Click, flick, don't even look. Nice and convenient, okay? It's out of the way. I like that a lot better than around the neck, okay? But hey, you guys, you might want it around your neck. You might like it that way. I like it on the waist, okay? The shorts that I wear while I'm working and fishing have belt loops, so I just click it right on the belt loop and I'm ready to go, okay? So that's another, thing that you need to decide too. I prefer it on the waist. Now, getting into the settings, I would suggest the second thing. What did I say the first thing? First thing is to put the tape over the light. Second thing is to go in to the menu, go into audio modes, and shut off the god dang beeper. You don't have to have that thing beeping every time you press the button, so everybody on your boat and anybody near your boat within 100 yards of you knows that you just adjusted your speed one notch, okay? It goes, if you have it on that one audio mode, it beeps every time you touch any of the buttons, okay? So this is what we're going to do, and I'm going to show you.
All right, so we're going to go into, this is adjusting the audio mode. We're going to go into options. We go down to audio mode right there. Press the arrow, or excuse me, the check. I'm already in audio mode 2. I think it starts off in mode 1, which is the beepy beepy one, which is this. Just scroll down, press the check, boop. Right, and now we're off. Now it is not going to beep every time that you press the button. Okay? Awesome.
So that's how you change that, okay? Then the only time it's going to beep is if you're in spot lock mode and you come out of spot lock. It's going to give you like a triple beep. It goes beep, beep, beep to let you know that you're out of spot lock, okay? This next thing is great if you fish bridges, which I do often, okay? Or any of you guys that fish anything that obstructs the motor from reading the GPS satellites, okay? There's legacy autopilot, and then there's advanced autopilot. This has the ability to do both, okay? And I have the latest, this is the Bluetooth remote, so this is the latest generation. But this has the ability to do both. The legacy autopilot uses an internal compass. The advanced autopilot uses the GPS technology. If you are fishing bridges, okay, the GPS signal gets goofed up because you don't have a clear view to the sky and the motor can't get the GPS headings. And if you ever tried to use your spot lock under a bridge, the thing's like all over the place a lot of times, and it's a problem. You can't use it. So you can go into the menus and you can change the autopilot settings to go to legacy. If you're on legacy autopilot, you're using an internal compass inside the head of the motor that is not reading GPS headings. So what you can do then, if you're under a bridge, is you can set a heading. You can just use your arrows and set the motor like against the current, right? And adjust your speed so you're about right, and it's gonna hold you right there, okay? And I do that all the time if you're fishing under a bridge. If you're gonna be fishing under a bridge for a while, put that setting on and use that setting under the bridge, and it'll prevent you from jogging all around when you're trying to use a spot lock. Okay, so you're kind of making a manual spot lock is what you're doing. Okay, so that's legacy. Let me get this right. That's autopilot legacy mode. That's autopilot legacy versus autopilot advanced. But you have to actually, on this model, the Bluetooth ones, the latest generation, you have to actually go into it and select legacy versus advanced.
How to adjust the autopilot mode. Remember I was talking about autopilot. So now we go here, and right there, actually right there. First thing, autopilot mode. Check. And I already put it in legacy, but normally it's in advanced there. Advanced uses the GPS. You want to go to legacy mode, or at least this is what I do, okay? Put it on that. Now it's going to use the internal compass as opposed to the GPS, and you'll be able to use it around bridges more efficiently, okay? Go back down, press close, and we're back up and running.
Okay, do that. Ooh, yeah, this is another one that I've seen people do. I've seen people do this on the water. It's a mistake, okay? I fish for snook, as you guys know. Snook are very aware of sounds and of, you know, what's going on. You have to be really quiet. You have to be stealth. I've seen people with these motors cruise along, right? Basically get full speed on the trolling motor, and then they get to the spot that they want. They're going, you know, 3 or 4 miles an hour on 10, and they just drop the spot lock right then, right in the middle of where they want to start fishing. And that motor spins around and it blows out, it goes back to 10, brings the boat back, and it, blows out the whole area. You just scared every single big snook in that area. Is now you've just announced your presence to them. Okay, so think about that. When you're getting ready to do that, I would not be dropping spot locks right in the middle of your spot that you want to fish at a high speed. Now, if you're almost still, okay, and you want to sit there, great, press it. It's going to quietly rotate around. It's going to bump a little bit of power 1 or power 2 or something like that. But going full speed one direction, okay, dropping that motor and dropping the spot lock in the middle of a quiet area is not going to help you. You're in the middle of an inlet with current and boat noise and everything else, who cares? But if you're fishing a quiet area or flat, shallow water with spooky fish, not a good idea. Oh, and then one more, and again, guys, this is all stuff that I found to be helpful for me, okay, when I'm working and fishing. So if you like to try these, give them a shot. This is what I found to be helpful. One more thing is, when I'm going along and I have clients that are fishing in the front, I always have my finger resting on the power button, the prop, okay? And as soon as we have any encounter with a fish, we see a fish, somebody gets blown up on a top water, anything, the first thing I'm doing is I'm pressing that button and we're just going quiet. And the boat's just drifting, okay? I don't want to spin around, spin that motor. I'm not going to try to stop the boat. I'm not going to press spot lock and blow that thing out, okay? Because we're cruising along at like a 3 or something, right? First thing I'm going to do is just press the button. Now we're just gliding. Now, if I need to, I can turn the head. I can go down to a 1 or 2 and do a quiet little stop on the boat, or like really quietly without any cavitation or anything, okay? But I'm certainly not going to throw it in spot lock. And more importantly, shut that thing off. I like to have it done because you pretty much want to stop, right? You don't want to keep going. So just press that power button, let that thing kind of glide to a stop, okay? And then you can take it from there. So a few things there, guys. I mean, there's tons of things on these that you can do, okay? And this is probably, this trolling motor and this remote and the spot lock feature and autopilot and all those things are probably one of the best and most important things to me when I'm working and guiding people and when I'm fishing. So important that I have a backup motor in my garage, that's ready to go. So I have one on the boat and I have one in the garage that's ready to go that I already had repaired, so I can always swap out one and have another one, because for me, working without this thing is nearly impossible. Use those tips, okay? Get to know your iPilot, But look, try those things I talked about. It'll help you use your motor more efficiently, okay? And hopefully, you'll catch more fish. Regardless, as always, guys, get yourselves out there, get your own time on the water, and I'll see you next time.